Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV. Just a little post-match chat about the game against Southampton. It's finished Southampton 1, Manchester City 1. Guys, not a great performance. I mean, let's be honest, Southampton could have won that comfortably. We could have scored a few more goals. It's just one of those. Hi, Faris. Nice to have you on board, buddy. Poor performance in my opinion. Evening, Chris. I said before the game, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. Would have been nice to go into this break with an 8-point lead. It's going to be okay. It's going to be a good lead, but it's not as good as it should have been. We created enough, but we were too open. Well, Abdallah says awful. And look, you can't just look at going one way. We created enough. Yes, it was an unbelievable, worldy goal from Walker-Peters. But look how many other opportunities they had to put us under pressure. Didn't hit the post as well. Ederson made not difficult saves. But Southampton were in that game all the way. If they score that one that hit the post, we're down 2-0. He should have scored. Look, whatever way you look at it, first half, he had a terrible first half. He had a terrible first half. Their goal came from, it was 9 passes earlier, but from his diabolical pass, was it to Walker on the outside? It just wasn't, he just tippied it when Walker had run past. And pretty much everything he did was not very good. Abdallah, I don't totally agree, but it just means if people aren't on it, we needed someone, dirty topless, we needed someone to step up. No one really stepped up. Grealish, put Foden out left, put Grealish off the pitch. Sterling, okay, he's had a good few games, but these are the kind of games you need your best players to come to the fore, and Sterling isn't one of them. You need your KDB. What was KDB doing? Not stunning for me. It's tough. Chris says fair play. You got to give credit to Southampton. They played a good game, but I think we allowed them as well. We could have won, but so did they. Yeah, both teams could have won, but mate, if you don't write in English, it'll be gone. Okay, I'm not reading that in Cyrillic or whatever it is. Hi, Harry. Yeah, no leaders today. Absolutely should have been sent off that Saturday. Faris, it's one of those, Faris. If he'd been sent off, you'd have said it was harsh. If he stayed on, you said he got lucky. That one for the high tackle, to be honest, from the height it was, yes, he should have got sent off. From where the contact was, yes, he should have got sent off. You could argue, but there wasn't much power behind it. It was a scrape. Rather, if he'd gone in like that, I'd have said, yeah, but he'd gone down like that. So I'm not as, it was between a yellow and a red. How about that? And for that, you give a yellow. Yeah, absolutely, Abdallah. Look, but this is the way City play. City always play like this. It's a complacent, laconic, casual kind of style. And look, when we're winning, I've always said, it's great when you're winning. Yeah, it's great when you stroll around and you're winning and you're a bit arrogant and everything else. But when you don't, it looks lazy. Grealish was not useful. Yeah, Abu, I agree. Kamala, nah. The one on KDB, I'm not buying that. Actually, they said it was outside the box if there was a foul, and I agree. How's it harsh? Faris, I think it's not just where you've contacted. It's not just where you contacted. Is it serious foul play? Is it dangerous? Nearly. That's why I said it's between a yellow and a red. And if he'd gone in like that with full force, then I say it's a red card. If he'd gone and studied him like that, but he scraped down, I'm more reluctant to give a red card from that. But if the ref had given it, I'd have said fair dues. Yeah, I didn't like the amount of stoppages. Look, when we had when Jesus went down, okay, near the end. I think he was just looking for to hold up play. But when he went down, they didn't stop. Referee just played on. When one of their players went down for nothing, actually, their player pushed Walker and went down. And the referee very quickly stopped play. Be fair. But look, I'm saying that from a position of where we didn't win the game. It feels like a loss, but we didn't win. It was, first of all, Faris, it wasn't clear enough, and they took the easy decision by saying it was a foul, but outside the box makes it easy. Umar Abdurrahman says we need a striker for the Champions League. We are going to struggle in the Champions League. Are we going after Vlahovic? I don't know. We're not going to get anybody in January. That's a gimme. Okay, we ain't doing that. If we were going to do that, I think we'd have done it already. We'd have got somebody right early on, chucked him in against in the FA Cup against Swindon. You know, if we're going to get somebody and chuck him in a game, you get him and chuck him in the FA Cup against Swindon. You get him, chuck him in the FA Cup against Fulham. That's how you bring them in. We ain't getting anyone, guys. Absolutely, Zahib, you have to take the chances. And if Southampton had taken theirs, we'd be sitting here crying over a defeat. Just be glad we didn't lose. You have tough games. Absolutely. Absolutely. Abdullah, no, I don't think we're going to bottle the title. But what we do need to, I've said it many times, we need to be clinical. Hi, Terminator. Hi, Kamal. We didn't move it. Look, but this is a regular thing, Kamal. It's what I say all the time. We are very slow when moving that ball. And when we move it quicker, we're more dangerous, but we do it, you know, we do it when we need a goal. And why can't we do it from minute one? I just don't know. I don't think Cancelo's going to cost us. You know, are you going to blame him for the goal? Come on. The fella had a great shot. And there were other opportunities to break that attack up earlier on. No one took it. You can't just blame him. Prithvi says, to be honest, for all the talk he does, Laporte isn't that good apart from the header. He did nothing. Some of the passing was poor. See, this is why I said, for me, it's Stones and Diaz are our best two. Pep goes with Laporte. I'm used to it now. What Tiki's purpose? Abdallah, calm down, man. Calm down. Cheeky's... Tell me a bad deal Cheeky's done. Tell me a bad deal. You know, we got a good deal with Torres. He came and he went. Fine. Cheeky got Rodri. Good player. Cheeky got Bernardo Silva. He's not bad. I think Cheeky got us Kevin De Bruyne. He's all right too. We got some good players with Cheeky. Mahrez, he's okay. Was Sterling good into Cheeky's watch? Can't remember. Everybody that certainly from Pep's time, everybody was a cheeky player. Generally, he's done all right. He's done all right. Terminator, nah, he's had a really good run. And on one hand, you can say, look, you can let him off a bad performance, but no. In those other performances, I've been critical. Okay, I'm not going to be swayed so quickly by a few good performances. I want to see a higher level of consistency. Didn't get it today. Faris is unlucky, but we still have to keep performing and not let our guard. If Liverpool win their game in hand, there's still 6 points, still a long way, and we still got a slightly better goal difference. Nah, Chris, not for me. For me, I said we needed to have more desire. I had someone on Twitter saying the players look tired. How on earth can the players look tired after a week off? Behave. They've had a week off. How on earth can they look tired? No, I'm not buying that. Cancelo does lose the ball on Abraham, but that's what Pep wants, and we take that. We take that risk. Foden should be blamed for the goal. He stopped chasing the right back. Terminated. There's a lot of things went wrong. Sterling give it away. When the crime of Sterling giving it away is when your right back, your fastest player, Walker, is on the overlap. So when Sterling gave it away, Walker was near the byline. That was a criminal pass. It really was. And then you're struggling. And the thing is, I don't think we had any urgency in defending because we thought, well, we'll be all right. And generally we are. But we didn't have the urgency to get back. And then Walker Peters, give him credit. I mean, it's a cracking goal. No one's stopping that. I agree. Grealish is frustrating. Not doing enough. Not doing enough for me. Renzel, how you doing, buddy? When we win, no one talks about a striker. As soon as we draw, people complain about cheeky. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've said it before. You know, we beat Newcastle. Was it 4-0? No one said anything about a striker. Have we scored the most goals this season in the fewest? No one talks about a striker when we're winning. It's only when we're losing, which we haven't done for 3 months, or we're drawing like today, people are whinging about a striker. We don't need a striker. We need clinical finishing. You don't need to be a striker to be clinical finishing. Are you telling me Sterling scores? What we're saying? If Sterling scores, what we saying? If KDB scores instead of hitting the woodwork, what we saying? What we're saying? We walk away with a win. No one's going to talk about a striker. We scored 2 or 3 goals. No one's talking about a striker. Either Eagle. Grealish is terrible. He's not doing it yet. Well, Umar Abdurrahman, I wanted, if you're here for the pre-match, for the live team news, I said I wanted Gundogan in the starting 11, but Pep would not pick him. Pep has not picked him for so many games. That's, I think, 5 out of the last 6 games he's been on the bench. So Pep has not picked him to start games. That's frustrating me. It frustrates me because that's giving Grealish an opportunity. Whereas I'd rather have Gundogan and Bernardo and use KDB as a false 9 with Sterling on the right, Foden on the left. I think that works better. I really think that's much better. But hey, I'm not the boss of Man City. Abu says, the good thing about City this season so far, they are dominant against the top 4 teams. And that would, yeah, City would win the title if we keep doing that. Oh, come on, Abdallah. We couldn't keep a clean sheet because the guy scored a worldie of a goal. Are you telling me that wasn't a worldie of a goal? So you got to give sometimes you got to give the other people credit. Abdallah says Sterling was the worst player on the pitch today. Grealish was one of the best on the pitch. I'm not sure about that. Okay, what chances remind me, how many chances Grealish created, how many assists he got, how many goals he scored. It's not just about the stats, but you want to be ripping teams apart and creating space, opportunities, and chances for the team, and you've got to be doing that. England, UK, I see. That's it. In the last 12 games, well, actually, it's the last 13 games, isn't it? Last 13 games, we've drawn one, won everything else. It's not bad, and it's what's propelled us from being behind Chelsea, from being behind Liverpool, to being well ahead. So it's not something to get so negative about, It's disappointing, but it's not, it's not time to slit your wrists, guys. Did Laporte look leaner and quicker today? Maybe it's just UA9. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. I would have liked some better passing from him. 7 minutes says, I do get it. KDB and Rodri are doing very well, so Gunda should work harder. I don't think. See, KDB. What did he? KDB is having moments in games. Okay, this is for me anyway. Maybe my memories let me go, but let me down. But a few years ago, KDB would drive a game. He would control it. Whereas now he's having moments. And at the end, he was tired. We had some hard chances on the break, and he let us down a couple of times. Or he got fouled once, but I think he could have still done better. I know Ederson had no chance for the goal, but he's the laziest. Well, he doesn't have. Yeah, what else does he have to do? That was an incredible finish. And look, nobody expected it. When that went in, I thought, what's gone on? I actually thought, what's happened? I had no idea because he hit it totally unexpected. I thought he'd crossed it and Ederson had got it or pushed it away, and it's in the back of the net. I had no expectation that he was going to do that. I'm sure nobody did. Need to play Jesus and Gundogan? Well, for me, that's what I said. You either play Jesus, you do not play Grealish. That's it. Terminator, I won't say it's too slow, but he holds onto the ball too long. I hate that. I hate that, holding onto the ball too long when you've got someone running down on the outside or on the inside, overlap or underlap, and you need to time that ball and you don't do it. 2 big points, true, but absolutely, Abu. Sorry, beyond what you're but we're not playing Liverpool till April, and we have to make sure we keep winning our games. That's the bottom line. We keep winning our games till April. Liverpool will drop something. They'll drop something. But it's up to us now. We've got 9 games, I think, until we play Liverpool in the league. Just got to keep winning. It's a shame. Like I said last season, the earlier you can put this to bed, the more you can focus on the Champions League. So, I just hope we just got to keep winning. Got to get back on the horse and keep scoring goals and keep winning games. But we got to be more ruthless, and that's what's frustrating. What's the point of having 75, 80% possession if you're not going to create many chances and you're going to spurn so many of those chances? Abu says, all due respect, I don't know how was Grealish one of the best. I think it was one of the worst on the pitch, no addition. I don't know. I've said it before. If it was my team, I'd have John Stones there. John Stones and Diaz all day long. If it was my team, I'd have Gundogan as an attacking midfielder with Bernardo Silva. That was our best midfield pair last season. It's done well this season. And I'd have KDB up as a false nine. If you want to squeeze him in, he plays as a false nine. Foden on the left, Sterling on the right. And move it around, because KDB can swap with Bernardo, swap with Gundogan. In that triangle, they can just move around. He can move out to the right and Sterling can come in. He can move out to the left, Foden can come in. Those 5 players are interchangeable. So that's how I'd do it. Grealish wouldn't be in my first 11. No chance. Absolutely no way. No way right now. I've said it before. I'd rather have Gundogan there or Gabriel Jesus. Next fixture, Fulham in the FA Cup. So I said it before the game. People talking about 4-0 and all that. I said no, Thanks, Abu. But only positive, we've not dropped. Yeah, that's it. That's where to look at beyond argument. We haven't dropped 3 points, which we could easily have done. They had their chances. And let's be honest, if we dropped 3 points, Liverpool would have been 5 points behind if they'd won their games in hand. That's 2 wins and you're ahead. Now, 2 wins then you discuss goal difference. So we're still in there, but we're going to have to work a bit harder. We're going to have to be consistent. We've had a really good run. We just got to get back on, and start another good run. Grealish had a good first half, but disappointing second. Pep should have taken him off in the second half. Pep trying to accommodate Grealish. I think so. I think he is. And that's going to frustrate us as fans. I don't understand how the challenge on Laporte was not a red card. Terminator. I think I said earlier, if he'd gone in like that, studs and with force into the leg, then it's a red card. But he was scraping down. I don't think it had the enough dangerous element to it, or it wasn't out of control and that sort of stuff. I said I think it's an orange card, but there's no orange cards. Sterling all over and Grealish useless, says Badgie. Badgie's not happy. Beyond game in Fulham are very good in the Championship. They score a goal for fun, and that would be hard. I think it was a terribly hard game. They had 3 games on the bench where they scored 6 goals. So they're scoring goals. They're a really tough opposition. Well, he put Gabriel Jesus on, but that's it. I don't know. You're going to have to ask Pep that. I wish somebody would ask him in a press conference, why aren't you using many subs? You're complaining that you want 5 subs, but then a lot of games you use 0 or 1. Abhishek, I'm not saying it's just his miss, but these things are costly. But then you could turn around and say, well, Southampton maybe should have scored a goal or 2 more. So it swings and roundabouts. Renzel says it wasn't a red card and it wasn't a penalty, guys. It's let's move on. That's it. That's what I said earlier. They've took the easy decision, but I think the right decision. If it was a foul, it was outside the box. Play on. That's the way it goes. And the red card, I don't personally. Part of me says, yeah, it's nice. It would have been good to have a red card, but we should have been looking at other players on yellow cards, same as last week. When Alonso was on a yellow card after about 7 minutes, we should have been in the same way. They had a couple of players on yellow cards. We should have been driving at them, and then not just to get them a yellow card, but they're afraid to put a tackle in case they mistime it and get sent off. So they're afraid, and that gives you opportunities. We should have been driving at them, and I just don't understand why we don't do it. Hi, Blackpool Blu-ray played much better after a certain player went off. Thought Grealish did okay. Abhishek says, was it red card? I agree, Tim. You see, challenges not as bad as that get a red card, but it is what it is. I don't think it was that bad. If Southampton were terrific, I must be watching the wrong game. They weren't terrific. They were good. They were better than most teams we've played in terms of they actually give it a go at us. They could have got 2 or 3 goals. Let's keep it real. It's not as if we were the only team that hit the woodwork. Why do I think McAtee doesn't get a chance? Because he's too young. He's on the bench because we haven't got a full complement of players. If Zinchenko was fit, Zinchenko would have been on the bench. Maybe Esbrand wouldn't have been, and McAtee would have been. If Palmer was fit, Palmer would be on the bench. I think he's not fit. But if Liam Delap hadn't been injured at the start of the season, maybe he'd have been on the bench. So McAtee isn't ready. Basically, that's how Pep looks at it. A penalty for so you're now giving penalties for tackles outside the box. Is that how it goes? If you want to give penalties for tackles, fouls or no foul outside the box, then maybe football isn't for you. Maybe. Yeah. You could see the tackle was outside the box. Send me a picture of the tackle, foul, whatever you want to call it, inside the box, and then I'll say, yeah, I'm wrong. Southampton were terrific by pack. Look, but Terminator, they did the two things in the game that you need to do against City. They need to defend well, and they did. And when you attack hard. And they attacked hard. They put us under pressure. They could have had some goals. So, you got to give them credit. They come out of it with a draw. And that's a mix of luck and hard work and skill. Salisu was very good, Abhishek, that's right. Where were 2 or 3 goals? Theirs. Didn't they hit the woodwork? They had other opportunities where they didn't have the quality. They had other opportunities, I think, where the quality wasn't there. We were lucky with that offside. Where was it Broja went through? Where he went too soon, but if he'd waited half a second, he's through on his own. So can't discount them. Why does Pep always run too? I don't know. So I said Bayaji. He said he wants 5 subs, but then he uses 0-1. Southampton were great for the first 20 to 30 minutes, but then the pressure piled on them. And yeah, absolutely. But they did what they did. They needed a goal. MCFC, are you blind? And I'll keep it polite. Are you blind as well as thick? If the initial contact is outside the box and it didn't continue inside the box. See, if you're grabbing somebody outside the box and you're still pulling and pushing them as they go in the box and then they go down, that's a penalty because it's continued inside the box. If the foul is outside the box and the guy falls in the box, it's not a penalty. So whether you're wearing shades or not, the rules of football don't change. Rules of football don't change. If the foul was outside the box, it's not a penalty. I mean, how can I say that more simply? Premier League fixtures, sit until I die. I don't know what you mean. When did the Premier League fixtures come out? They're already out. We know what they are. They come out last July or August. July. Boring City, absolutely. Blackpool, we need a big bus as well to pack. Abhishek said we lack creativity today. Also, we hit the woodwork 3 times. We need to be good with the absolutely. We missed our opportunities. Okay, we did create enough chances to score enough goals to win, but we weren't as good as we should have been. Absolutely, Renzel. Southampton gave us a good. We've won. Was it 12 out of the last 13 league games? Be happy. VR totally broke momentum. Ref was shocking, obviously. No. Burton Road forever. It was the VAR. It wasn't the referee. I'm just talking about those two calls. The penalty one, I think, was quick and easy, and it shouldn't have taken 2 minutes of wasted time. He should have just said, and in fact, they should have looked at it already. He should have made a decision already whilst the game was going on. They should have been looking at that. And when there was a natural break in play, a minute and a half later, he should have already looked at it and said, "I'm not going to ask you to go and look for a penalty. Keep going." And in the end, he stopped it. So that was a mistake. Both players were stood on the penalty area. They were just outside. For me, until I see a picture, of the contact inside the area or on the line, I'm saying it's not a penalty. I'm not going to chase a penalty to try and cry myself a win out of this game. I ain't going to do that. We weren't good enough, in my opinion. Abhishek says we need a striker. Don't mind Harriet, Kane, Vlahovic, and should stop mourning over Haaland. Absolutely. Hi, Anthony. Hope you're well. Bayaji. Blind critics blaming City for boring when it's City that has... Look, when teams have a go at us, games are exciting. This game was more exciting than normal because we didn't beat them. We didn't steamroll them. And they did give it a go when they got the opportunity to have a go. They give it a go. Leicester was an exciting game because they give it a go when they were 4-0 down. And you give it a go, you see what can happen. I'm not sure, Anthony. As I said before, it was 50-50 for me. If it had been a red card, I'd have said it was a bit harsh. I thought it didn't have enough ferocity and power to deserve a red card. But, as I said, it's 50-50. I'm not going to, whichever way it had gone, part of me thinks it should have been a red card. Part of me thinks it shouldn't. But as I said earlier, we should have been putting pressure on the two players that did have yellow cards, because then they're reluctant to make tackles and make the right decision because they're worried about getting a second yellow card. We should have used that to our advantage. Renzel, I should say it was not a penalty, never was. You are 100% correct. Cheers, mate. Nice to be told I'm right. But if it's outside the box or outside the line, it's not a penalty, whichever way you want to call it. Well, City till I die, I think the guy had COVID. He's not ready. So how can you give him a game? I just don't understand that. Yeah, Pep said in his press conference yesterday, he's not ready. Renzel says, I like how you don't cry for decisions. I'm the same. Look, Bayaji, look, it happens. It happens. And, sometimes you just take it on the chin. Ref should be spotting the free kick on the edge, relying on VR way too much. Red card, nailed on, too high. No, look, for me anyway, it's not enough power to warrant a red card. Not enough power. We're not going to agree, but I think there's more than a yellow, but not a red. But there's nothing in between. And the ref should, if the ref wanted to give it, he should have given a free kick on the edge. But because he didn't give it, they can't come back and get it. If we got a pen, there's no guarantees we score. There was other opportunities to win the game, and we didn't. Absolutely. That's the thing. That's what people focus on, things like the penalty, things like the red card. But they weren't the ones stopping us winning the game. It was us. If we're hitting the woodwork, if we're missing pretty much open goals, then we shouldn't be looking for the referee's assistant. We shouldn't be looking for someone to get sent off. Okay? Terminator, I agree, but this is what we've been doing in so many games. We've looked casual. Arsenal, who looked the best side, I'm not sure it was City, certainly not in the first half. So we've not been brilliant. We've not been at the races all the time. So look, Grealish is doing what Pep says, and if that is hold the ball, pass the ball, keep your foot on the ball, then Grealish is doing what Pep wants, because Pep keeps picking him. Yeah, absolutely, Renzel. You're right. Forget the ref. Forget these. Okay, if the ref has missed 3 penalties, or if there's been a succession of poor decisions, okay, that make the difference between a goal or not, then I say fair enough. But we should be doing a lot better for ourselves. A lot of people having a go at Grealish. He did well. I'm not having a go per se. I think he should have done better. I want more, which is why I want Foden out there. I've said it many a time. I want Foden out on the left, Sterling on the right, KDB down the middle, Gundogan in behind. I think for me, that works better. All those players have been here a while. They know how to play the game. Grealish is still learning how to play for City. Yeah, that's what I think, Abhishek. We have to wait till next season for Grealish. Anthony says Grealish was good today. Sterling was poor, but at least he does something in the game. Grealish is a passenger. He needs to do better. I think we need a bit more, and maybe a striker or another player that's gonna grip the game, that's gonna take charge and make things happen. And that's what the frustration for me at the moment with some of our players. They're not making stuff happen. It is quite robotic, and they're not making stuff happen. And there was one, Grealish, he had a chance to put it in, and he held to the guy's slid, and he's just taking too long. I think we're making some poor decisions. Now, I've said it before. It's the system and the tactics and everything that Pep plays that makes some players look better than they are. Look at Fabian Delph. He could play left back at City, no problem. Go to Everton. The fans are screaming blue murder. Look at Otamendi. He could play at the back at City. Made a few mistakes, but he could play well. Go to, where is he? Benfica. They're screaming blue murder. Players leave City, they're not the same when they go somewhere else. And it's partly because of the system that we play and the tactics and the quality of the players around them that made them so good. So sometimes they step off the gas, and this is what you get. Anyway, we're better next season. Maybe we'll be better in midfield, like you say, Abhishek. Abdullah, look, destiny is in our own hands. Keep saying that. Destiny is in our own hands. We've got to We've got to keep winning our games. Don't worry about others. Keep winning our games. We'll be all right. Right, guys, I think that's it. I'm going to go out and do some shopping. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you're new to the channel, it'd be great if you could subscribe and see where this gets us. Yeah, I think beyond the game, it took him a bit of time, but he's all right now. Arashvia says our attack isn't ruthless, and look at Mane, Jota, and Salah, ruthless in front of goal. Our border filled. The striker's not the issue. Arashvia, the striker's not the issue because we're the top scorers. We're the top scorers, so with the striker isn't necessarily the issue. It's clinical finishing that's the issue. And I'm sorry, you've got forwards, Sterling, Jesus, Grealish is an attacker. Everybody forwards and midfield. You should be more clinical. You should be scoring the goals. You should be scoring the goals. So we'll see how it is. You know, I look at what Akash says. We've had 6 years without a proper left back, 2 years without a striker, and in that time, if we win the league this year, we would have won it 4 times. It can be done, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, we'll do a stream tomorrow. We'll do a play ratings tomorrow. We'll chat about that. Harry says if Jack wasn't doing what Pep wanted, he would have been the team. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. Keep your chins up, guys. In my case, keep your chins up. Look, we're still top of the table. We're still quite, well clear at the top of the table. It's all in our own hands.